on the bare, simple stages of Shakespeare's time, or here, on one of our own highly complicated modern sound stages. The thing that motivates all these people, the actors, the directors and their assistants, camera crews, sound crews, experts and technicians, is a piece of paper with words on it. The play, the story, the scenario, the script, whatever you want to call it. Without it, the machines stand idle and the stage is empty, waiting for the spark. The translation of an idea onto pages of paper that will once again set them in motion. Of all the tasks that go toward making a motion picture, that of the screenwriter is the most fundamental, the most basic, and the loneliest. This author is making a plot and characters exist where nothing existed before, or taking a subject written for one medium and translating it into a very different one. So that, using the blueprint of his script and the words and action that he and he alone has created, his fellow artists and craftsmen, the technicians, the directors, the actors, can build for you the finished products of comedy.
We're sorry to dash in on you like this, but we did knock.
I don't doubt it, Mrs. King. When I practice my yoga, I'm completely out of this world. I neither see nor hear a thing. I take it breakfast is ready?
Yes. And the sooner you come down, the sooner we can...
I'll be with you in a minute, Mr. King.
Now look here, you...
Drama or melodrama? Action?
Get up. Come on, get up.
Which fill the screen of the theaters every day in the year. While no screenwriter feels that he is Shakespeare, all screenwriters try to maintain high literary standards within the framework of an industry committed to keeping pictures in those thousands of theaters. And always the need is for stories and more stories. To that end, the studio yearly examines hundreds of thousands of books, plays, short stories, and manuscripts in search of material suited for the screen. The flood of this material is so great that the studios rely on the services of a middleman, the agent, to make the first elimination of material not adaptable for screen use. Practically all stories are submitted through this established channel to the story editor. Like the agent, he will cull them to suit his own studio's needs and tastes. What is left of his selection will be sent to his readers, highly trained story analysts who make a brief, attention-getting synopsis and a recommendation which can be sent to one of the studio's producers. If he asks the studio to buy it for him, his first function will be to choose a writer whose talents and experience make him enthusiastic about the story. The writer may not like the material and turn it down, for producers and writers alike know that mutual enthusiasm is vital to their work. If they agree, these men will argue and discuss at great length before the writer begins his work. Sometimes it's an idea, sometimes it's a novel, sometimes it's a play. The screenwriter must turn it from print into celluloid. He must eliminate in terms of the production code. He must condense and highlight. He must make you want to see the picture. The screenwriter does not necessarily stop his job when a script is finished. Producers, directors, even actors consult him on meanings and shadings of lines. A line read one way may have a totally different meaning from the same line read another way. Only the man who created the line knows exactly what he intended. And more the writer is consulted and acts as part of the great team that finally brings the words on paper to life. These screenwriters, you see, are authors of wide experience. Some were novelists, playwrights, newspapermen. Some had their training directly for the screen. Their names are world famous or unknown, but they are all trained professionals. So important is he that executives of studios have asked writers to assume other duties. And today we find many writers directing their own scripts. For instance, Lost Weekend, directed by the screenwriter. Family Honeymoon, directed by the screenwriter.
What kind of a family have I married into?
What kind of a family have you married into?
That's what I said.
Well, if you don't like it, you'd better get out.
Treasure of the Sierra Madre, directed by the screenwriter.
Tatum is for the Lord or fate or nature, whatever you prefer. But whoever or whatever played it certainly had a sense of humor. The gold has gone back to where we found it. Oh!
Every Girl Should Be Married, directed by the screenwriter.
You sit here at the head of the table.
Letter to Three Wives, directed by the screenwriter.
New Year, Ma. We're going to get married. Bingo.
And many screenwriters produce their own scripts. For instance, Key Largo, produced by a screenwriter.
Sticks, that's all. No lights. Just a baby spot. I wouldn't have any entrance. They'd play the intro in the dark, and a spot would come on.
The Great Gatsby, produced by the screenwriter.
What's going to happen to kids like Jimmy Gatz if guys like me don't tell them we're wrong? Maybe after I do my time and start over. Jay.
Yellow Sky, produced by the screenwriter.
I paid for it.
And all screenwriters are proud of the fact that from their ranks have risen the production head of 20th Century Fox, the production head of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, the president of the Motion Picture Academy. But above all, the screenwriter believes in the dignity and importance of screenwriting. He prefers not to adapt, but to create directly for the screen. And some of these original creations have made some of the best and most exciting pictures of the last years. The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer.
Reed.
Hey, you remind me of a man.
What man?
The man with the power?
What power?
The power of hoodoo.
Who do?
You do.
Do what?
Remind me of a man.
What man?
Man?
The Red Shoes.
Now.
Miracle on 34th.
Merry Christmas. Well, young lady, what's your name?
Susan Walker, what's yours?
Mine? Chris Kringle. I'm Santa Claus. Oh, you don't believe that, do you?
Mm-mm. You see, my mother's Mrs. Walker, the lady who hired you.
What starts with a typewriter and a piece of paper goes out over all the world. For film is the one medium which hurdles all barriers of language. But whether it be on motion picture screens in Egypt or Korea, Belgium or Canada, what millions of people see had its beginnings in a lonely room in the mind of a writer.